Hello and welcome to Just Hoops. In today's video, we're going to dive into some of the movement this offseason and talk about Lonnie Walker's fit in Los Angeles. Lonnie Walker is a very up and down and sometimes polarizing player in the NBA, but here are his stats from last season. He averaged 12 points per game, 2.6 rebounds, 2.2 assists, shot 40 from the field, 31 from 3, 48.7 from two-point land, an effective field goal percentage of 48%, a true shooting percentage of 51.2%, and an assist-to-turnover ratio of 2.14. Lonnie Walker is a player that can definitely impact at both ends of the floor, so we're going to dive into his game in this video and see how he can truly help the Lakers out next season as they're in pursuit of winning another NBA title. So to start things off, let's go to the defensive end of the floor and see how he can impact there. In my opinion, Lonnie Walker's impact in Los Angeles defensively will come at the point of attack. Him in isolation situations when he was locked in, he was a phenomenal perimeter defender. He's a raw ability to guard out there with his elite athleticism, his strength, and good size for his position, and his ability to really switch and guard a variety of guys. The Lakers last season were ranked below average in both isolation defense and pick and roll defense on the ball. We'll talk later about pick and roll, but throughout these clips, you can see that Lonnie Walker, when he is locked in, is very good on the perimeter. He sits down in his stance, he's physical, he's not afraid to make a play on the ball, reach a little bit, be active, be aggressive. This type of energy and aggressiveness for the Lakers could be the next level thing for them. They struggled at the point of attack last season, getting blown by a lot on the perimeter, allowing guys to get downhill. And a guy like Lonnie Walker with Anthony Davis behind him could be huge because he can pressure the ball. He can really get physical at the point and make things difficult for a ball handler to make smart and under control decisions with the ball in his hands. Now we'll dive into that pick and roll defense I briefly brought up before. So in these clips, you can see Lonnie Walker does a really good job at just having a feel as a defender at beating a guy to a spot and staying connected. When he goes over screens, he does a great job at snaking over the top and then also just finding his way to inch his way in front of the attack. And then also when he goes under, he does a great job at determining the area that the offense is trying to go to, getting his body there, beating them to that spot, and making them work to get a good shot or even just make a play with the ball in their hands. I think Lonnie Walker could definitely come into Los Angeles and be a high-impact player at the point of attack, and this type of defense, this aggressiveness, will be huge for the Lakers and their success. I briefly also wanted to bring up some issues that Lonnie Walker presented at the defensive end of the floor. As a 5-on-5 team defender, he needs to be more alert, more active, more committed to his role as a team defender, being able to rotate, being able to be quick, being able to use that athletic ability and speed to get to different places on the floor, not give up, always give that consistent effort. You can see throughout these clips there are times he was caught in rotation, times where he didn't communicate effectively, times where he just let somebody get an open three on the perimeter. He needs to be willing and able to make a consistent effort at this end of the floor to get stops. When you're playing on a team with LeBron James and Anthony Davis, you are competing for an NBA championship every season. And this type of effort that he displayed throughout his career so far is not what will get the job done. He needs to go out on a nightly basis, present great energy and effort as a defender. It'll help him get on the floor more and also give him opportunities to impact the game offensively. This type of energy will not be accepted on the championship level roster that the Lakers have. I am personally excited to see him in a high-stake environment where he can go out on a night-to-night basis, give great effort, impact on the ball. I could see him as a great off-ball defender at picking off passes, being a pest in the passing lanes. And I think for Los Angeles, a guy with his athletic and physical abilities could be a huge asset for the defense moving forward. Let's go to the other end of the floor and talk about how Lonnie Walker could impact the offense. So first things first, when it comes to the offensive end of the floor, we've already brought up his athletic ability, and that translates to the offensive end also, especially in transition situations. His ability to get up and down the floor and finish with authority was incredible for his position. He is 6'4", and he just flies around like anyone else could in the NBA. I think that the Lakers want to run Last season, they ranked 7th in pace, but they were 15th in transition points per possession. I think a guy like Lonnie Walker that could push it himself and also run the floor wide could help them in terms of being more efficient in transition. I think Lonnie Walker as a finisher on the break is absolutely incredible. He presents different challenges just by him running the floor. I think he creates opportunities for himself and his teammates with his athletic ability going up and down 94 feet. And I'm excited to see him run with a guy like LeBron James, a guy like Anthony Davis, high-level playmakers. And as he improves as a spacer, if he can run wide and present that as a threat also, it'll just help the Lakers be more efficient as a transition offense. Now let's go to the half court and talk a little bit about his finishing ability. This first clip is going to show his elite athleticism, ability to finish with authority above the rim, and also explode by the initial defense. He is a quick and explosive athlete off of the dribble. You can see in this clip here against Portland, he gets by the initial defender and then gets to the rim for the tough finish. In that finish, you saw his ability to accept contact with his strength and size for his position and still finish. He can finish with either hand, but I'm most excited to see him in second side action as a ball handler or just playing off the ball. He did a really good job at playing off of DeJounte Murray last year, and I think with LeBron James as the primary ball handler, these opportunities will just be amplified. He will have plenty of opportunities to come off the weak side, dang cut, just space off the 45 and attack closeouts, and he will thrive in these opportunities to get downhill and make plays deep in the paint. Now, to kind of go along with some of the stuff we were saying about his finishing ability, is that same quickness, that same explosion off of the bounce can allow him to get to the second level and get a lot of really good opportunities, whether it's a floater or a pull-up. He showed a little bit of a floater game last year in San Antonio, but one thing that I think that he could be very good at is a nice little 1 or 2 dribble pull-up in the mid-range. He doesn't have to create as much for himself as he did last year, and he can just use those 1, 2, or 3 dribbles more efficiently in LA's offense. And if he's able to knock down these shots by himself, whether he's playing off of a guy like LeBron or whether he's doing it by himself on the second side, could definitely be huge for the Lakers offense next season. And then to round out talking about scoring ability, I think that Lonnie Walker as a shooter could be huge in LA. He's going to get a lot of high quality opportunities around Anthony Davis and LeBron James. And I think he has a great foundation as a jump shooter. It did not translate to the numbers, only shooting 31% from deep. But I think that he has a very clean shooting stroke. This foundation he has as a shooter is definitely above average, if not very good. And the opportunities that he's going to get in Los Angeles are going to be better than he's ever gone throughout his career. And if he continues to improve at creating high quality shots off the bounce and getting more efficient with it, that level of his game could even help Los Angeles out more. And then to round out things at the offensive end of the floor, we're going to talk about his ability to create offense for his teammates. Yes, he only averaged a little bit over 2 assists per game, but his assist to turnover ratio is what I was impressed with. Having an over 2 assist to turnover ratio is very good. And Los Angeles last season had a 14.2% turnover percentage, which was 19th in the league. And if they're able to control the ball more and make smarter decisions with the ball in the hands of the offense, things will definitely improve at this end of the floor. And I think Lonnie Walker, in terms of a guy that could drive and kick, play downhill, be smart in terms of when he attacks, whether it's for him or his teammates, and just making a good read. And along with that, I think that Lonnie Walker moving forward could be a great second side ball handler as a guy that could come in off the bench and be reliable with the ball in his hands at making decisions. For LA, I think that the more ball handlers and creators that they can have at the offensive end of the floor, the less stagnant they'll be, the more efficient their offense will be. So these last few clips, I do want to talk about Lonnie Walker as a pick-and-roll ball handler. You can see he does a great job at coming off the screens hard. He's physical in his downhill attack, using his athleticism to get deep in the paint, and then he's under control with his passes. Even if he does jump, his athletic ability allows him to make plays that not many other guys could, and this could definitely help the Lakers offense moving forward. So to conclude, Lonnie Walker could be a tremendous asset for the Los Angeles Lakers to improve at both ends of the floor. They had a disappointing year last year, and a guy like Lonnie Walker can come in, bring a great defensive impact at the point of attack, and offensively be a possible 3-level scorer and creator with the ball in his hands. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, learned something about Lonnie Walker as we prepare for the upcoming season. For more content like this, please like, subscribe, and share, and we'll catch you in the next one.